Hey guys, welcome to the Hippie. Yeah.
All
Wait.
right. And action. Hey guys, welcome to the Hippy Dippy Show. I'm one of your hosts, Jeffrey J.
And I'm Cassidy Bowker.
And I'm Bo Bowker, guys.
And just a heads up, we're having some crazy internet issues in the Golden State. So, sorry, I'm watching a lot about the Golden State Killer right now, so I've been calling this
Oh,
the Golden State.
Just
Uh,
blaming everything on the California state government.
yeah, uh-huh. So
This
if we,
Gavin Newsom,
yeah.
son of a bitch, he messed up our internet.
Yeah. Well, so if it goes out or there are technical difficulties or cuts, we apologize, but we're doing what we can.
Look, get off of our case, you guys. COVID-19. That's. I feel like that's what everybody says. Like every interaction I have with people, and they always seem to give bad news, and then they're like, on account of COVID-19. You know what I mean? Like everything ends with that. Like, oh, I'm sorry, we had to put your cat down.
Oh.
COVID-19. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't give you a refund on your vacation. Oh, COVID-19. How it goes.
Those
It's
ones, that one makes more sense than your cat died.
Hey,
Uh, COVID
COVID-19.
19.
Sorry, Jeff.
Oh,
Sorry,
really? How did,
COVID-19.
yeah.
No, it didn't. No.
How did that happen? Oh, I ran over him. How is that COVID 19? You're not even supposed to leave the house. It's, it's exactly not COVID 19.
That's the problem. COVID-19. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what it is.
I end up the end of our conversations, especially like when I'm in public. It's usually like, hopefully we're gonna get back to normal soon. Like every time I go to the bank, everybody's hopefully soon we won't have these on. I'm smiling under here. You just can't tell.
Oh man,
So
it's true. It's funny. That's weird. Jeff, where's your fun vacation hat?
Oh man. Oh, I actually did buy a fun vacation hat because
You
I
did.
went camping. I hate putting on hats, especially on video,
Why?
because
Why?
I have the head of your son. I have the head the size of your son's head, and like so, here's
Let's see it.
here's the back of my hat. This much comes off the back of my
Yeah,
hat
Oh,
in
that's
that's
order to
so
make it.
funny.
not
That's
meant
so
for you.
teeny.
And now I'm gonna take my headphones on and try and put this hat on, and you will see that it still will look ridiculously large.
Yeah. What the heck? How is that
Wow,
even
man.
possible? How is that a
You
possibility?
look like it's like when a little Make-A-Wish kid receives sports uh, memorabilia from a professional athlete. They like
Yeah.
give them the shoes after the game, and like the kid puts them on, or like a hat after the
Oh
game.
yeah, it doesn't even have to be that. It doesn't even have to be a professional football player. It's like when a regular person gives me their hat.
Oh, I meant like when I said professional athlete, for you I meant like a jockey,
Yeah.
like their, their hat or their jersey.
Slightly smaller than a regular person gives me their clothes.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, I look like a child in a firefighter's hat. In any hat.
Uh,
But yeah, my
where,
vacation hat.
where you went? Oh, so you went on vacation and got a hat for, you said, camping.
Yeah, we went camping, and actually, it's only about 45 minutes from your house, I think.
Oh my god.
There's some little mountains up there, and that you can get away, and there's no service, which is fabulous. And because that to me is the most important, is I can't have anything possibly drawing me back in.
Yeah.
And me and Emma went camping. Our regular weekend plans got canceled. And so I said, let's just go.
COVID-19.
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
COVID-19.
COVID 19. My virtual D&D got canceled because of COVID-19. So we found a campsite that had a first come first serve, a couple sites, and I just said, you know what, we're gonna make it work. There's gonna be a site waiting for us. We left early Saturday morning. We got there, and there was one site.
Whoa.
One, just a beam of light shining on that in between the perfectly shaded area where our tent would go.
Nice.
And yeah, so we went camping and disconnected for 2 days and connected with each other
Mm.
and connected with nature and collected firewood. And every morning because I typically wake up before Emma does, and I woke up and I wrote my morning pages, which is 3 pages of stream of consciousness. And then I would drink my cacao, which I would
Mm.
warm up the water over the fire, which,
Yeah.
yeah, making cacao while camping, I have discovered I'm not good at.
Why not?
It just never came out right, and I just thought, is this cacao different somehow? And then I came back, immediately made the most delicious cup today, just instantly this morning. But I did the cacao, and then as Emma was reading, I went and did breath work as well in my tent in the freshest air on top of a mountain with
Wow.
nothing but nature around me, and was high out of my mind the whole 2 days with just reflection and nature and beauty and my partner. It was so lovely.
That's
That's so
amazing,
beautiful,
Jeff.
Jeffy J.
Yeah, and so to finish this story up too, so I did a lot of journaling, and one of the things I do always when I journal is I create my own reality, and I talk about things as if they're happening currently. And 2 days, which are also slightly terrifying because when in this time when news is just nonstop, are we shutting down? Is this what's new?
Right.
You're just like, what's gonna happen in 2 days?
Yeah, what am I going to come back to?
Yeah, what am I coming back to? Because we had just announced that we might be going down for another stay-at-home order
Right.
right before we left, and so many things. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? So, but I do all these amazing things, and I'm so excited. And we come down the mountain after 2 days of me getting no signal, and I immediately get 2 emails, both of which are just amazing, unexpected news. One comes along with money, which is fabulous,
Heck yeah.
and the other one uh, is a casting thing, which who knew anybody was casting right now?
Mm-hmm.
But that happened, so I came and I started crying.
Aw.
We're
Oh.
driving through, passing your place, and I'm just crying with him, going like, I journaled about this, and this is exactly what we needed, and I'd done the breath work and the cacao, and came back to this amazing news. And anyways, it was just beautiful, and thank you for letting me share that because it was a
That's
lot.
awesome, man. I love hearing that. And yeah, it's so powerful. You know, we look at like getting away as like, oh, I need a break. I need, like I just need to get out of town. And hey, when you have a vacation, I know that I do this. Like I will put expectations on it. We were just kind of talking about that this morning because we're on our vacation right now,
Yeah,
actually. Hence the hats.
yeah, and the new house.
And a new house. Yeah,
Woo!
our Liberty Motel is closed for renovations. No, we're staying in a little beach house, a couple blocks away from the beach,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's awesome. It was a last minute trip, totally worked out, and it's great. And I felt this need, I think we both have to get away, like get the kids out for like a new
Yeah.
experience. COVID-19. Being cooped up in the house so much as we try to get out and all that sort of stuff. But anyways, getting away, like I know that I put expectations on vacation where I'm like in the mornings, I'm like, come on, like we got to go, we got to get out to the beach. I'm like trying to maximize our time and things like that. But like for you to go and let it be restful while being intentional about making your connections with your partner and, getting more deeply rooted and deeply connected to yourself and your source, that light in at the center of your being that we all have, like you doing that through your cacao, through your breath work, like that's so powerful. And you're writing your morning pages, and like it's incredible because you're showing the universe, I believe, and you're telling the universe, I'm ready for this. And you're clearing space for this stuff to show up, Not only are you being very specific and intentional with your writing, but like energetically, you are paving the way, showing the universe what you're capable of in your healthiest, highest self. And then the stuff starts showing up. And that, I think, is why you get emotional. Like I know that I've had those experiences too, where I'm like, it's working. Like this shit is real, man. Like, because you feel how powerful you are, and how responsive the universe is. Like Cassidy and I, we've seen it in cleaning our apartment.
Yeah, we're really excited about cleaning and organizing. So listen, it's tough having a couple of kids, a couple of toddlers, and then you're pretty busy, have your hands full, and so yeah, there's often a pile of laundry in the closet, and that pile grows and grows, and
like
so
a
recently,
human-sized pile.
so I'm guilty, and so recently we cleaned it all up. So we cleaned our house top to bottom before we left on vacay, and I'm so excited, and actually it's like an incentive or something that I look forward to, that I think about, that I'm like, oh, ooh, if I clean the bathrooms, if I clean the toilets, if I organize the shelves, then that means that we're creating space for potential. We're creating space for possibility, and something's gonna happen. Something,
Stuff's gonna show up. Stuff's gonna show up, and like, and it has, like, we've both seen it in our careers, where it's like we make these moves and we create the space for it. We clear space for it. You're not just decluttering your space, you're decluttering your mind.
Yes.
And yeah, and like, I mean, we've both seen like job opportunities and like sales or whatever the case may be, like come through during that time, like immediately after doing it. And like we've seen it happen too, like in our relationship, like it clears energy in our relationship too, where it like kind of like if things are stagnant or there's like tension and then we like clean, like it kind of loosens things up. And like, what you say?
Yeah, I think there's so much power in it. It's so funny that you say that too, because me and Emma's talk this morning was about how we were adding, like, one of the things I started doing is trying. I found this thing on goals a couple days ago before I left for camping, and it was setting goals in these 9 different regions of your life, which was fascinating and I loved it. And it was personal development, spiritual, career, financial. There was family and romantic, which is different, which I loved. And so you set goals in all these different ways, etc. But one of the things was setting on our page completely different things that we wanted to clean on the house once per day, so that it was like, I was like, let's do it completely separately so that we figure out also where our priorities are and what we wanted to clean. And
Cool.
it's such a dumb conversation to have with your partner. Like, let's set our goals differently and not tell each other that I also wanted to clean the bathroom today.
Right.
What? Life is so boring.
I think that's cute. Yeah, we were just using our video camera, not on our phone, you guys, like a real actual video camera, handheld one. You remember those?
Like
Yeah.
a news camera from the 80s.
We were just using our video camera. I'm doing some interviews. Bo likes to do interviews when we're on vacation.
I like to interview family members.
Oh
Yeah.
my
And
God, that's
children
amazing.
and my wife.
Like highlights of the trip, of their year, what are they working on, what are their aspirations, just kind of talking. And so we're doing this with our 3-year-olds, and so cute and so silly. Anyway, shoot, I totally lost.
This is adorable for everywhere else in America. In California, kind of seems like you're training them for a life of on screen.
Oh my gosh.
You're making them practice for their self tapes.
Do the dance.
Hilarious.
Do the dance I taught you.
All right, Jack, slate your name.
Slate your name. All right. And if you,
gosh.
let's see your profiles, please.
Mm-hmm.
And can you just put your hands up? Thank you, both sides. That's
what age
good.
can you play? You really think you can play 5? Okay.
Okay.
Hilarious.
I don't know.
You guys, I remembered it. Thank you so much for that stall. Anyways.
We're here for you.
So it was kind of cute. So we're talking about couple stuff and doing those silly things. And you're like, God, we don't have, what does life become? Anyways, we're doing our little video interviews, and both said something, and I spoke like on your behalf, right? I was like, what do you call that? I was like mimicking / predicting what you were going to say. Is there a word for that?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Anticipating his.
She just knows me and knew exactly what I was gonna say,
right,
because she offered to interview me, because I'm always the one who does it. I'm always the one who's holding the camera. So I always say like, oh, God, our kids, they're gonna have no memory of what I looked like. Like, if I wasn't talking, they'd have no idea that I was on the trip.
You're gonna look like when you die, you're gonna be like that documentary dad who has everything of his family but nothing of him.
Exactly. But what did I say? I was like, it would be nice or something. She's like, can I? Do you want me to interview? Oh, and I said, I thought you never asked.
So before he said that, I said, and we said at the same time, I thought you'd never ask. And so he, did you think I was being funny? I thought it was super sweet because I knew he was going to say that. I know him, and there's some type of really powerful connection that happens and develops the deeper you travel into relationship. That connection and frequency and wavelength, it really opens up. And so I think it's really fun, and we notice this more and more often coming up, where we're thinking the same thoughts. And so he'll say, hey, I was just thinking about that, something random. We could just be sitting on the couch, and then he'll talk about, for example, maybe hummingbirds, and then and then I'll bring up the same thing, and so, or having the same type of dreams. Do you notice that, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, interesting. No, nope. No, not even close on dreams. The other day, Emma was having a dream about white supremacists.
Oh, boy.
She was talking in her sleep, and she said something about white supremacists. And I was like, I gotta figure out what side she's on this one.
I'm listening.
Asking her a question, and then she said something about attacking, and I'm like, all right, we're good.
That is so
hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah, we both talk in our sleep, though, I will tell you, and we both egg each other on to figure out what's going on in there.
Yeah.
As soon as it happens.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah.
Fascinating and lovely. Hers is always about war or something.
Wow, cool.
And I'm making some imaginary thing up, like, that's not how the game goes. Oh.
But it's so true, cute. Like, she'll say something, and then literally that morning or the day before, I was thinking the same exact thing or thinking about the same exact thing. And it happens almost every day now, to the point where like I don't even always tell you. Like I don't even always mention it anymore, because I'm like, all right, yeah, we just think we're just on the same page all the time. It's really powerful.
Now you just live with a witch, and you just have to kind of deal with that.
Pretty much.
She knows.
Yeah. Exactly.
When she finally did interview you, did you do it, Cassidy? Did you do it like Fox News style and berate him and not let him finish?
Well, the thing is that I didn't make up the interviews. I didn't make up the interviews. Okay, so I'm not quite into them. Right? It wasn't my thing.
I'm sorry, they're so boring for you.
No, I don't think I'm a good interviewer. I don't think he comes up with really cool, thoughtful questions. Like he's really good at that. And me, I just, ask me the questions and I'll talk about it. Sure. And as I'm doing it, I'm a mom, right? So I'm filming over to my right, but the kids are going to the left, so I'm watching left. The video's over here, and now I'm filming the floor or his foot, and he's like,
and I'm watching,
okay,
and I'm just
right.
like I'm now 10 years ahead, watching the film back and just being so mad. Like, you know how some people have a lazy eye.
Yeah.
My wife has a lazy camera. Like it's just like. You don't know where to look.
I love it too, because you're the on-screen person of the family, and so then you get out and you're like, it's my turn to shine finally, and then you're an extra. You're an extra in the story of your life.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I was so frustrated. And now in 10 years, we're gonna look at the stupid tape, and I'm just gonna be the angry guy. So because whatever you are in these videos, that's what you always were.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what's going to be remembered. And so there I am, just the perturbed man.
Yeah.
Who can't get any attention because my wife is just, no, honey, don't. Those are decorative shells. So, Daddy, what was your favorite moment of this trip so far? Honey, put down the decorative shells. I'm not picking them up again. Mommy had to pick them all up last time. And I'm just talking. And then going, you know what? No.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
And I really love my wife so much. Fine, just stop him. He's going to eat that fake cactus.
Yeah.
That is true. That's what just happened. World.
I love it. And I love that you do the interviews. That's brilliant. I don't know why Emma doesn't do that with us. She's a camera operator, for Christ's sake.
You get some good cinematography.
Whip it out and get these thoughts. Come on, girl. What am I thinking right now?
Would you want to know about Emma?
Yeah.
You guys should use some of those exercises, Jeff. I'd like you to do a homework assignment and film you two interacting. Maybe you just sit cross-legged, facing each other, so the skin of the knees are touching, and then hold hands, look into each other's eyes, eye gazing, and then think of a number.
20.
Oh, you have to give it a limit between 1 through 10, usually.
Yeah.
Gotta set some boundaries, and then think of the number. Think of the number again.
20. I was gonna say 50,097.
But I
would. It sounds like when you're saying like we got to give yourself a limit. You're like you have to. Okay, this is between 4 and 6, so that you say the same number. We do think a lot alike.
Wow, we're meant to be. Oh.
This is lovely, though. I love us in our giggly states. You can tell that we're both, that all three of us have gone on these amazing vacations. And also, too, vacations aren't without your bickering. We had plenty of bickering getting out to the campsite, and it happened tons while we were there. And then you reset faster, I feel like. And we have a moment of like, I'm sorry, you're right, and let's open our minds again. We're on vacation.
Cool.
And you kind of just open up and you get closer in that way. It's not that you don't bicker, because you absolutely do. You're just now bickering about how Emma always smothers a fire and has no idea how to start a fire, even though she knows how to do lots of other things in the wilderness. And we just, but that's the thing that we're bickering about for some ridiculous reason. And then you realize it doesn't matter. It's,
Yeah. I think we've certainly been bickering. Um, and Cassidy especially has done a lot of bickering. No, has especially done a great job of like resetting very quickly and again holding space for this guy over here.
Yeah.
Because in part because right before we came out here, I engaged in this program with the podcast famous Reverend Kathy.
Yeah.
And it's about healing your inner child. Oh man, a little bit of advice, everybody out there. If you're gonna go on vacation, do not bring your inner child.
Really?
Well, I mean, I think my point is like I just did some like I'm doing some digging into some deep and heavy stuff. And then so when you do that, when you go inward to that, depth, like it kicks up all the dust.
Yeah.
It kicks up all the stuff and then boom, just stuff is just now exposed and ready to get triggered more. And so I've not been my most pleasant self probably and enjoyable self because I've just been I think there's stuff that I'm dealing with and stuff that and it takes a lot of time and a lot of like focus to do the work. And being on vacation, we're a little bit out of our routine, and so therefore I'm not able to or haven't taken the time because I want to be with Cassidy the whole time. I want to be with the kids the whole time, and that's the whole point really of the trip. And so I haven't spent as much time with my self-care. And so it's like there's this
Can you can you still do that? Can you still because I know what I did when we were camping is that I still woke up earlier so that I could get my stuff done because I wanted to spend so much time. Can you still do that or did you want to let yourself relax from the 5:30 a.m. that you usually?
Well, yeah, so that's a good point. All that great points and good suggestions and things I should have done this entire trip. Because the 5:30 a.m. thing, that's been off for like the last 2 months probably.
Okay.
Like
really? 2 months?
A month,
yeah.
a month-ish, month and a half-ish. I've been super tired. My energy level's been a little bit lower, and especially now on vacation, family vacation isn't like a vacation. What did you call it?
It's not. I heard this from another family. They said, remember, it is a trip, not a vacation.
Yeah.
Those
Call
are different.
it a family trip.
A vacation is the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
what the? Wait a minute.
Just hitting each other with palms.
Yeah.
My poor mom.
What the heck? We're applauding each other's efforts.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's how Bo's always clapped.
Yeah. I'm not good at it. Some people. Oh, I'm sorry. Such a great clapper. Jeez, man.
But so then this is a trip.
This is a total trip because like it's just you're with the kids nonstop. And again, it's so great. It's so beneficial for them and for us as parents, as a couple. Like it's really great. But it's just not the same. Like there's no rest. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
And on vacation, like the schedule is a little bit more lax, so the kids aren't going to bed as early. Not that they went to bed that early before to begin with. And so everything's just a little bit thrown off, and you're not eating as well, although we've done a pretty good job.
Doing a great job.
And yeah, and so like, yeah, I'm just like extra tired. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, but yeah, so there's a cranky inner child.
Yeah. And that's the thing with a vacation, with releasing that crank tank right before you go on vacation, is that usually you have work to distract you and so many things to do in your regular life that help you, that are the things that helped you push down that inner child anyways,
Yeah,
to be fair. And
that's
now
great.
you have nothing but family and processing. Good
Yep.
luck. Thanks, Reverend Kathy.
It's so funny. No, but it's true. Yeah, no, that's a great point, that the other kind of daily distractions, and things you have to do, or think you have to do, for some of them. Yeah, it distracts from doing the work, uh, if you allow it to, and that's the thing. Like, and we've said this before, doing this work is not easy. It's much easier. It's something that David Elliott talks about too, uh, which is, yeah, it is probably to some degree, in certain ways, easier to just be more numb and kind of keep your mind and eyes shut, as opposed to, like, if you're going on this journey of awakening and healing, it's like, okay, here we go, and like you're gonna dig stuff up, and it's uncomfortable, and yeah, so I'm dealing with all that sort of stuff right now, which is awesome. It's great to do. Amazing stuff is coming to light. My dreams have been super vivid since I started all this stuff. And yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Like, I had to tell you guys, I had this dream a couple nights ago, and interesting because it was before we even decided to come here. But I had this dream that we were in a house by the beach. I was on a patio, uh, and we have like the same exact patio deck that was in my dream, and it's positioned exactly the way that it was in my dream. And in my dream, there was, in the open doorway, was a crow and a white bird, like I got the black crow and like a white, like either seagull, like a big old seagull, or a pelican, right? And I was like, in my dream, I was like, oh crap, I got to get these birds out of my house. And I was like, hell, this is a nightmare. And like I took like a rock or something and kind of like lightly tossed it at them.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to hurt them. And then like I kind of hit the crow a little bit, and I felt really bad because even though I wanted it out of the house, I didn't want to hurt it. And then and I was like, ah, crumbs! I hit that friggin' bird. And then the white bird grabbed the crow by the beak and flew both their asses out of the house, like off towards the beach.
Why is this so funny, Jeff?
What do you make of that?
Because you know how people say, like, don't tell people your dreams?
Yeah.
You feel free to tell me your dreams anytime.
I got a dream.
I'm done.
Oh, there's more. Oh,
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah, don't worry. A squirrel also comes up, and he is a little standoffish for a moment, and then grabs a nut and slowly walks away. Nothing was abnormal about that squirrel. And then later on in that day, he does the dishes, but he has a slight inner thought about, am I doing it quite right, as he loads the dishwasher. And so anyways, now he...
If squirrel came back in the driveway and Bogart gets in his car and he decides to ram that squirrel.
Yeah.
But just in the nick of time, that white bird and black bird come and they carry the squirrel away by his tail. And the squirrel goes.
See? And that's the ending we were looking for. But go ahead. I'm sure your ending is great, Bill.
Well, that's the ending of the dream. But good, I'm glad you hit your tears.
Instant karma. We're sorry. We enjoyed listening to your. I genuinely
Was it
did.
that boring? I know it's
No,
boring.
no,
I know we thought that was it.
that was the point. Was that it wasn't boring. Your inner if no one listened to what you said beforehand, it sounded like a real story.
Oh,
All right, listen, you donguses, please.
Yes, I will
Just-
listen, but before I do, I want you to know I wasn't saying it was boring. I was thinking about the
oh,
idea
my
that,
inner child is friggin' active and very sensitive. No,
well, and I
um,
think what it was that makes your dream not boring is that no, let me say, is that it was so real. It was not like, yeah, and then there was a midget who just showed up, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then all these crazy things happened. It's like, who cares? And you were like,
well,
this very realistic thing happened, and I had a thought about it, and
it's
I
not that
reacted
real.
to it.
It's not that realistic. There was a bird. There are two big birds in my house, and I'm trying to get them out. And one grabbed the other one by the beak and dragged it away. The white one grabbed the black one and dragged it away. Now, what? Maybe that was a white supremacist dream. I don't know.
Mm.
No, it wasn't. No, well, and that's the thing about this is that it was significant to me. Number one, I have an affinity and a connection to pelicans. Okay, I've been very drawn to pelicans.
he has a pelican, a wooden
I
carved
know that.
at the bedside.
I do, yeah. I look at it when we make love. Me and the pelican. Um, uh, um, and so anyway, so yes, I immediately woke up and was like, well, that means something. I don't know what it means, but it means something. And then, so now flash forward like 5 or 6 days later, we're here in Carpinteria, California. Don't try to come up here, everyone. And Cassidy and I were having a tiff. We were on the beach and I was drinking my cacao, like one of my few moments of like a moment for myself. And and I was thinking about like, all right, I need to like choose peace, like I need to choose love and choose peace here and let go whatever this is, like whatever ego BS this is that I'm allowing to cause, strife between my wife and I and on my end. And so I opened my freaking eyes after like doing all this thinking and drinking my drink and gratitude and figuring it out and coming back to center, and I opened my eyes and boom, pelican flies by, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. Well, like it caught my attention, right? I didn't tell you this. And then I close my eyes again, take another sip, and like in that moment of gratitude, I was like, thank you for the messages, like I see you, I feel you. I don't know what we're talking about yet as far as this Pelican and what he wants.
Yeah. Bread.
And right. Just like all those rioters.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god.
And then and so the Pelican goes and it's flying north, right? And then I close my eyes, take my sip of gratitude for whatever messages, knowing that was a message, not knowing what it meant. Open my eyes, crow.
You gotta be kidding.
Swear to God, man, crow flying south. And it was this moment of, all right, like which way are you gonna go? Which direction are you gonna go?
That's interesting.
And I still don't fully know. No, but I still don't fully know what it means in terms of like, because part of me is like, oh, all right, let me look up what a crow means. Let me look up what a pelican means. And then it's like, well, ultimately, it just matters what it means to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think it's kind of part of the light dragging out the dark.
That's what I thought too, yeah.
And yeah, making those decisions and choosing love and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be as simple as the universe knowing that symbol would make you take a step back right then. And
Exactly.
and sometimes it's just that is that you became present immediately when that happened, and your whole mindset and your field of vision completely open in that moment. And if it meant nothing other than that, your day was changed.
Yep. Totally. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
something I like what you said, Jeffrey J, about the universe knowing that symbol means something to you. So this is just an example of the universe giving a symbol, something like this, right? Because I think it's very interesting. In a past relationship, I was that was really cool because the door is open, so the way the light's shining, you could see all the particles in it. It's kind of cool.
The door was open. I love it so much. I pictured a really fancy couch, and your ability to want to commit to that so hard that it was going all over that decorative shelf.
No, it's all over the floor and my face and my hand.
I love you so much. I love you both because even Cassidy at that moment could have chosen to go, "We're in a rent house."
It's just water.
I love it.
So
past relationship, I had found some messages that suggested there was cheating going on.
Oh, like at physical, actual
Text,
messages, not like birds.
Text.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Well, listen. So down the text messages.
He's with a hussy. Slut.
But maybe, because let me continue here. So I found the text messages, and then you get the person's like, "That's not true. We're just joking." No. And then
they were just joking.
I know it was just a joke.
Oh,
so I leave for the evening, and I go to my best friend's house, and crying. But there's a part of you that's like, no, he said he wasn't joking, right? He's not cheating, right? And your best friend's like, please, come on.
Yeah.
Listen, look at the text messages. So then I'm on my way home. I'm driving back, to have that hard conversation. And as I'm driving, I think to myself, please, God, please, universe, give me a sign. So that relationship, my ex was Mexican, and he spoke Spanish. And the name of that person was Gaviota. I think it translates to pigeon. No, it translates to pigeon, I believe.
Oh, really?
So because I was like, who's this Gaviota? And he's, this is a nickname. It means like pigeon. And I looked it up, and I think that's correct.
Wow.
So he was telling the truth about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, as I'm driving home, I said, please, God, give me a sign. Did he do it? Did he not? Like, I just want to know, is this true? And then as I turn, there's a red light. As I turn green light, all of a sudden, all these pigeons, like 100 pigeons, boom, fly out from the bushes as if my car startled them. Wow. It was crazy. So they flew right over me. And I, my heart sank, and I thought, oh gosh. Shit. That's
yeah.
They were having sex in that bush.
Yeah.
It scared all those pigeons away.
He was having sex with a pigeon.
We pray for these signs, we pray for these signs. Just like Bruce Almighty, he's like, give me a sign. And every single sign was right there in front of him. And he just still would ignore it. And you can choose, are you going to listen? Or
well,
messages or not?
That's a great example, because that was different from what you did. You said, give me a sign, with the understanding that sign may be the one you don't want, which is that he's cheating. And then, because you can also say, give me a sign that this is the right thing to do, or, give me a sign that I'm doing the right thing. Well, it's a little forceful saying that you might not be doing the wrong thing. It's a little better to open your idea to. You open your mind that you could be hurt, and accepted that sign, instead of saying, oh, yeah, that was a sign. Not the right sign. not that sign.
Right.
Yeah, that's
very
so,
possible.
That's so interesting. That's not, I don't typically think like in just the one direction. So I didn't realize like, oh, that is a really beautiful way of thinking, to be open in that sense. And interesting, Jeff. I'm glad that you noticed that.
Yeah, and you could have said like, yeah, please God, show me a sign that he's not cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I think, Jeff.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's what that silly Bruce Almighty scene is. It's like you're looking for a specific sign, and that's when you've narrowed your view, and there's something else over here that may cause a little pain, but it's good pain. It's your inner child jumping up and down, going, deal with me.
Yep, totally. Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you know, the universe is constantly giving you signs, like whether you're asking for them or not, you know, and it's constantly showing you signposts of like, this is good, or you're on the right path. You know, I believe that those signs are constantly popping up for us, and I see them more and more as I become more attuned and more sort of grounded, I think, and more open to them, you know. And I think naysayers would be like, oh, you're just like reading into things because you want to, you know. And okay, but I don't think so. Like, I think it's just what's happening. I mean, it's just, to me, some of the stuff is just so obvious and so clear, you know. I mean, I think I told you, like, I was drinking cacao recently, and like there was just like a cloud, and it formed into the face of a dragon. Not like you squint your eyes and it's a dragon, but like it's a dragon face.
Yeah, like a barista made it.
Yes, like a genius barista made this dragon's face, and I was like, holy stromboli. And then I went and she's got this animal spirits deck by Kim
Crayons.
Kim Crayons. Very cool. Very awesome. And that's another thing where like we find meaning in these things, you know. And like I read it, and like the description of the dragon, and it was everything that was going on with me at that time in my life, you know. And she has another deck of cards that's like the universe has your back. And Gabrielle Bernstein, based on A Course in Miracles, which
based on the Bernstein Bears.
That's right. Yeah, she was the little girl. And
Sally.
Yes, thank you.
Wow.
But those cards are amazing too, because like I'll draw, and look, 10 years ago I'd have thought, I was like, oh my God, like that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. But like I do it. Look, there's like probably, I think 52 cards, like a normal deck of cards. I don't know, there's like a lot of cards, right?
Yeah.
And I'll draw a card, and it's perfect for what I'm going through at the time. And then, all right, put it away, shuffle the next day, or, you know, a couple days later or whatever, shuffle, looking for another card. Same card. And it's like, oh yeah, I've not incorporated that lesson yet. I did need to hear this again.
Yeah.
And I get the same ones over and over again, and Cassidy does too.
I love those cards, by the way, too, and I want to get myself the animal one, because when we did it together, I loved it and was so open to it, and then we immediately found where I was a little closed-minded, and I feel like I'm the most open-minded person, and I'm like, oh, you've got something weird? I'm in. You tell me what it is, and I'll do it. Oh, you gotta stick a needle through half of my nose, and it's good for your foot? I'll do it. I'll do it right now, and then I'll decide if I feel better or if whatever. So we get into these cards, and I immediately found where I'm, you know, I think we ended up drawing two. And one of them I was like, this is it. This is me. This is the most beautiful thing ever. And then the other one, I'm like, nah, it's not me. It's not me at all. Immediately.
Yeah, you thought it was me. You thought it was like for me. Like I should have gotten that card.
Yeah. And then we sat down. We were all sitting down together, just casually talking as we do. And and as we started talking about the cards a little bit more, then y'all pointed out all the different reasons why it is also me. And as that unfolded, I realized how beautiful it is that y'all pull different cards every day and how I want to do this, so I want to get these cards. Because instead of saying, this is not me, you're finding the meaning and the relation to all of the different parts of you, which is
Yes.
so cool. Instead of saying, isn't this me? It's going, all of these are me. Where does it hit? And what is it that I'm drawn to? What do I need to work on? What is it making me grateful of, etc.?
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. No, it's so true. Like, and it kind of going back to what I was saying, the naysayers may say, where it's like, oh, you're just reading into it and like you're finding the meaning in it. It's like, yeah, I'm finding the meaning in everything, because why not? The more meaning I can find in this life and in this world, and what it has to present to me, the better, the more enjoyable it is, um, the more whimsy there is too. Like whimsy's a wonderful thing, and you, Jeff, are a very whimsical person, and that's part of what I love about you. And the more of that you can introduce into your life, and like finding the meaning, and seeing, you're right, Jeff, like letting it mean something, in terms of like, keeping your mind open and seeing like, okay, I know this is intended for me, because that's why it's here in my life right now. Whether it's a card, whether it's a car accident, whether it's, meeting a new person, like, whatever it is, just knowing that whatever is showing up in your life is for you. And then, excuse you.
Oh no. Oh,
Oh,
where are we
having a
going?
terrible vacation.
Oh man. You've ruined
I'm
my
gonna
day.
hold you, honey.
Where are
But
you at, Elise?
finding the meaning, um, in things, and letting everything mean something, because in my opinion, as I've said, it does. It's all meaningful. Nothing is an accident, no matter how crappy it might appear or feel in the moment. Like, it is, that's where my faith comes in, is that I just believe that everything is for our greater good in our journey towards getting back to that light that is
Yeah.
the center of this universe.
Yeah. And I love that where you're at with people saying that you're just finding meaning in it. I've found myself going like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
even if none of this, and I believe 100% the universe sends me messages, say something happens and they go, oh, nope, we live in a fishbowl on a flat earth. The dude way bigger than us created it, and nothing is meaning. I'd
Right.
go, yeah, but that card made me do something differently for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That card made me act differently towards my partner, and I gained benefit because of it, instead of barreling through thinking, I'm great. I'm so open-minded. I don't even have to think about how open-minded I am.
Right.
And
Right.
like how ridiculous is that? I'm a very open-minded person. Just saying that immediately is like, eh, eh,
Yeah.
there's a little too much ego in that to be
Yeah.
that open-minded.
Yeah. I think anything that you have to declare is typically like a tell. Like, maybe not. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So and immediately doing like I'm so open-minded. Now let me find out that I'm not,
Right.
because
Right.
I
Yeah.
closed off this option.
Well, and yeah, totally. To your point, there's a card that's one of my favorite cards in that, the universe has your back deck of cards, and it's based off of a book by the same lady, of course, not the Berenstein Bears,
Yeah.
but called The Universe Has Your Back. And one of the cards is, something to the effect of, when you think you've surrendered, when you think you have surrendered more. like like when you think you've kind of given up everything you have that you're holding on to, like, you know, whatever notions they are or narratives they are, or you know, outcomes that you think that you're holding on to and you think you've surrendered it all, dig a little bit deeper. And like, and I love that for everything. Like, I kind of look at that for everything now. And like, and whenever I do get that card, I'm like, oh man, there's more. And again, going back to the inner child stuff where I'm like, oh yeah, I've got some work. And like, there's times when I think like, wow, I've really kind of plateaued on the old growth. Like I know by now that that is not the case. And
Yeah.
that, oh man, there's another roller coaster section that's coming where I'm going to discover something. It's going to be gnarly probably, and then I'm going to heal it and I'm going to just grow even more. And then I'll find something new that's, you know, that's asking to be looked at and healed.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's always, we can always give more and dig deeper and love more and surrender more and be more open. And like, and you're always going to find the universe is just going to keep giving you opportunities to expand. The more you grow, the more the universe is going to be like, wow, look at you, now try this.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a gift and it's a challenge and it's awesome.
Yeah. There's an old phrase, I don't know at what point in my life, which by that means what religion or what spirituality or whatever it was I was in. I think
Yeah.
it's God. I think it's God gives you never gives you more than you can handle.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
heard that.
that's it. But in my head it's the universe never gives you. But
Yeah,
I'm sure I've just changed that or whatever.
sure.
And it's so lovely because I have found that in my entire life, the universe gives me exactly what I. Man, I got, and this is a tangent, so I don't really want to go into it, but I'll just say I got a I got a boot on my car right before
Mm.
quarantine,
Oh boy.
and and it cost $1,200 to get that boot off my car. And I will tell you, before then, it had always been month to month. I'm working my ass off to try
Sure.
and get. I can afford something like a class here, a thing there, but
Sure.
$1,200 is never something I've just got.
Right. Right.
And 4 months earlier, I had done a show and done something I'd never done, which is saved that money,
Yeah.
and I just had it ready. And I was so grateful to hand over that money because I knew the universe knew that more was coming. And I've never been in that position where I went, I'm grateful for this terrible situation. Oh my gosh. There's somebody else on camera now.
This is Cassidy.
Hi, Cassidy. Are you eating a cookie?
What are you eating?
He's eating banana chips, and
Oh.
Elise is eating dried mangoes.
Oh my goodness.
That's beautiful though, you know, and you're so right. Like that's, it's such an empowering way to look at things, you know, to know too that like, oh, I'm dealt this what seems like a blow or a difficult situation because I can do it. Because, you know, because our ego often chimes in as like, this is too much, you know, like, oh no, I'm not ready for this. I can't do this. This is too hard. Like, I can't afford this. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. But it's that faith again in the universe or God or spirit or energy or whatever you want to call it, that, you know, that we can come back to as a calling card and be like, oh yeah, no, I can handle this. I absolutely, I'm I'm built for this, and the way that I know it is because it's showing up. Because
Yeah.
it wouldn't happen otherwise, you know.
Yeah, I'm
That's,
happy to because the universe prepared me for it and that I knew that it just meant more was coming.
yeah,
And it was one of those things that also too snowballs when you get proud of yourself because you're taking care of everything you're supposed to be taking care of and you don't have the weight of some sort of crippling credit card you haven't paid off, or you pay that off and you're like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I told my brother I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I was like, I just did another big boy thing, which I know sounds ridiculous. And he's like, don't call it big boy. And I was like, but that's the thing that makes it fun.
Yeah.
Paying all of my back tax bills and buying a really large purchase because I've saved the money and I'm financially secure and stable and fixing my credit. What?
That's awesome.
And that, to me, I'd rather say that I'm a big boy. I did a big boy thing.
That's right.
It's like when Jack poops.
Yeah, poops right in that toilet, don't you, Jack? He's
Well,
doing it right now.
Y'all
No.
look, yeah. Y'all look lovely.
Thank you.
Okay, can I tell you, Jeff and Elise, can I tell you something funny about Uncle Jeffrey J? He's sitting in a baby high chair.
Look at him, he's sitting in this baby.
He's sitting in a baby high chair.
We have, for all of our listeners and viewers, we have our laptop propped up on a old-timey wooden high chair, and to see Jeff's face sitting at where the back of the high chair is very funny and fairly appropriate.
I'm hungry.
So we'll post a picture of that.
We will, yeah.
Yeah, please do. This was lovely. I love and miss you and your family. When are y'all coming back?
Soon. Couple more days. We'll be back, and yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, anyone want to just do maybe one deep breath or something silly?
Yeah, honey, you do that.
Family walk.
Yeah,
What?
we're gonna family walk.
You're gonna take a family walk?
All right. Okay. Everybody?
That's adorable, by the way. You're gonna go on a family walk?
Heck yeah.
How inclusive.
How inclusive.
I love it. Well, at that age, easy like, I want to go for a walk.
Yes.
But we are going to go on a family walk is using collective language to include other people in it. And it's indicative of his empathic intelligence.
I love that. That's a beautiful piece of insight, Jeffrey. Thank you.
All right, I'm ready.
So, everybody listening, if it's safe to do so, not operating a big rig or anything, let's close down our eyes. Maybe put your hand on your heart just to touch in and feel the life that's beating within you. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out. This is easy. Breathing is easy. Life is good. Whatever's in your life, we know that it's meant to be there. We know that you can handle it. And think about the things that are showing up in your life right now. What do they feel like? What do they look like? And ask yourself, whatever you believe in, why is it showing up? Whether it feels or looks good, or feels or looks bad, however you label it, why is that there right now? What are you being called to look at that's below that surface? What needs your attention? Is it your inner child? Or is it like me? Maybe it's your outer child who wants to go on a family walk. Maybe it's your partner. Maybe it's just something in your life that needs you to look more deeply at it, to heal it, to help it. Just take a look and be open to whatever it may be. And hold space for it. Do your best to release judgment. Do your best to be more open. And just surrender more to joy. Surrender more. Okay. Surrender more to your child, inner or outer. And have a good day, you guys.
Bye.
I love you all. Thank you. I love you, Jeff.
Love you.
Bye.